In case you didn't already know, Neuralink is an interface that helps humans interact with machines using their brains. Elon Musk's innovative project deals with linking the human brain to the internet to control and operate machines. It has been developed so much that it's near the stage of being released for commercial use. This was partially confirmed by the company, also aptly named Neuralink, on the 28th of August 2020, where their brain-computer interface tech was tested on live pigs, displaying the neurons in the pig's brain working rather rapidly. Neuralink will push forward research in the neuroanatomy and in neuroscience fields by years. Let's dig a little deeper, shall we? What exactly is Neuralink? Neuralink is a device or a brain-machine interface to be specific. This BMI is surgically implanted into the human brain, which can be a means of communication between humans and machines. Humans can even control these machines only by thinking up a single command. Neuralink also helps with the study and research of cures of various medical problems by allowing the transfer of data emitted from the body back to a digital receiver. What transfers the data? Ever since the establishment of the company in 2016, they have been continuously developing this technology. The Neuralink chipset, also known as the N1 chipset, measures 8mm in diameter with several wires housing electrodes and necessary insulation for these wires. These wires are surgically implanted into the brain via a robot. The company claims the wires are as thick as the neurons in the brain and are 100 micrometers in diameter. That's thinner than a strand of hair. The interesting part is that more than one of these devices can be placed in the skull for targeting different sections of the brain. Neuralink Explained. I'm sure you remember the famous Hollywood action flick The Matrix, and if you remember that, you surely remember the scene where Neo, played by Keanu Reeves, learns martial arts just by loading a computer program into his brain. Sadly, Neuralink can't teach us martial arts. Yet. But it can send and receive electrical signals through the brain to control the machines. Because of this, the company says we can be able to control basic devices like smartphones, computers, and even type using our thoughts. Now, for us to understand how Neuralink works, we should know our brains send information to different parts of the body 24/7 via neurons. The neurons in your brain are connected to form an extensive network and communicate with chemical signals known as a neurotransmitter. This reaction creates an electric field and can be recorded by placing electrodes within close distance. These electrodes understand the electric signals passing through the brain and translate them into an algorithm the machine can read. Through this process, Neuralink can read what we're thinking and find a way for us to interact with the machines without even talking. The N1 chip's purpose is to record and induce electrical spikes inside our brains. We can also learn unique skills using a special application, which will one day be installed on users' smartphones. For now, Neuralink is making use of a Bluetooth, but that will most likely change in the future, though it is possible that whatever form this technology takes will be wireless, and achieving this is a top priority to the Neuralink team. How will Neuralink be installed? Well, the installation process isn't for the faint-hearted, or weak-brained, literally. We're talking about drilling a hole into the skull and inserting wires into the brain. Musk even commented that the procedure is complex and beyond the capabilities of skilled human hands. This further raises the question, how is Neuralink installed? The answer is, you guessed it, with a robot. A robot will carry out the insertion, which is why Neuralink will use its specially developed team of artificial surgeons to carry out the insertion of the device into the cortex, quickly and precisely. This Neuralink robot will insert the module into our brain with a microscope and needles the size of 24 microns. A micron is 1/millionth of a meter, by the way. These needles open up a 2mm section in the skull, which will later be dilated to 8mm. After the operation is complete, the exposed area of the skull is covered with the chipset module. During all of this, the person being operated on would be under partial anesthesia. While this seems like some sort of radio insulation, Musk promises there will be nothing like antennas or wires sticking out of your head after the device has been installed. How can Neuralink be used in real life? The company says the initial phase of the project will only be used in the healthcare industry. the machine will aid paraplegics with simple tasks like operating a phone or computer. It might also be used later to treat epilepsy. During an interview, Musk even said the machine can help people regain their eyesight, even after losing their optic nerve. He said that this technology theoretically will be able to fix anything wrong with the brain. Musk also said that Neuralink can restore the speech, movement, and memory of a paralyzed person. With a complete symbiosis of the tech and the human brain, Musk states that it can be possible for humans to interact with each other without actually having to speak. Can you imagine that? Telepathy, a fantasy phenomenon coming to real life. We can also get additional hardware to stream music in our brains. With tech like this, we'd be living in our heads. While we wait, Neuralink gives 5 years of this technology to be at least fully developed. Sounds like an episode of Black Mirror, don't you think? So what are the downsides? At this rate, Neuralink will be the bridge connecting human beings to the next phase of artificial intelligence. Right now, the technology hasn't yet been tested on human beings. However, one of the major concerns of the Neuralink concept is a danger of hacking. If this device is connected to the internet, how will it be protected from hackers trying to pry into our brains to steal valuable data? And it's not just data. What stops them from surfing and spying on our thoughts through this device? There are reasonable concerns regarding the security and accessibility of such a cutting-edge technology like this one. But even as there are concerns, it does not stop us from being excited that such technology exists in the first place. Neuralink poses an interesting question about the future of humanity. Some people in the digital era have hypothesized that when man meets machine, our evolution will be complete. Others think blending humans with machines could be our downfall, when we become reliant on technology and not our already very complex systems that exist in us naturally. What do you think? Does Neuralink pose to advance us as a race? Does it open up a new world of human-machine technologies that will accelerate the development of our species? Or does it pose a fundamental threat and undermine the complexities of our human anatomy? If you have enjoyed this video and want to see more of the Quark, remember to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and as always, stay strange, everybody.